Fourth quarter call back at you tonight. Thank you for tuning in. And sorry we missed you last night. I had a little bit of something to do. So sometimes emergencies pop up, right? But, we're back at you tonight. We're done with the over-under, so maybe you can stop being pissed off at us. But actually, you're probably not going to be because we're going to be talking shit about your favorite teams now, even more in depth, about where they're going to finish. And if maybe they finish on top, who knows? Fellas, tonight, we're starting off with the AFC East, the very top of the order. So I'm going to break right into it. We ain't got really anything to talk about. It's the dead point of the season. We're in the middle of July. We're dying for some goddamn training camp to start. Give us some NFL news, people, NFL gods. Give us something to talk about. Start the damn season already, please. But for now,
I don't think Goodell wants any news. Sometimes no news is good news for Goodell.
That's true for Dallas fans, right? Sorry, Tim. I apologize. Too soon. My bad. All right, let's get into it though. So, because we have no real news, hey, let's talk about a little predictions of what we got going this year. I'm going to start from the bottom of the AFC East. This is what I got going, fellas. So the number 4 seed this year is going to be, I apologize, Dolphins fans and Mr. Randy Brown. Randy, if you're watching, please don't be upset with me. I still want you to be our honorary Sunday NFL ticket thread starter. Please, I beg of you, do not let this be a personal thing. But unfortunately, Randy, I only see 3 wins. You have a team that's most likely going to have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. You got a pair of young, good running backs, but what good are those running backs if you're putting garbage in front of them? And then we're talking about, is Rosen or Fitzpatrick starting? I don't even know if they want to start Rosen off to get him into that franchise lead. And Fitzpatrick is just there for security and maybe to sell tickets and some hope. Like, oh, well, there goes Rosen. Well, we got Fitzpatrick to win us a few more games, right, Dolphins fans? Here's another season of 7-9. But unfortunately, I will give you a good win against the Patriots early on in the season because you guys can steal 1 or 2 from the Patriots, it seems like, in the past few seasons, especially at home. And it's still pretty damn hot there in Miami in September. And the conditioning with the Patriots, it might fare to Miami's side being down there in the sun and the heat all damn day long compared to the New Englanders that are near the ocean line up there in the coast. So I think you could snag one early on with a little Brian Flores and get the heat going. But unfortunately, Cowboys and Chargers, 2 tough games. You can snag one against the Redskins because they're going to be a dumpster fire in the NFC East. But unfortunately, Dolphins, I don't see much happening else in the rest of the season. It's just going to be pretty much a dumpster fire. Your only other win after October 13th is coming in November against the Bills. And that's just because the Bills are trying to figure out their own team as well. I'm going to give you to the 3rd team. Who is that? It is Buffalo. I see them only winning 5 games. I'm going to give them the very first season opener at the Jets as a very climatic win, and that gives them some hope early on. But Giants, Bengals, Patriots, and then at the Titans, I don't have much faith in Josh Allen, passing with the arm right away early on in the season. I'm going to give them a win against the Dolphins. Eagles take the loss, give them another one against the Redskins. And like I said, with that Buffalo defense, that defense is definitely going to win and escape them out of a few games, which I can see happening against a team like the Broncos. And I think that Ravens game coming in December, 1 p.m., I think that's going to be a really good fucking defensive matchup between both teams. And that's going to be Josh Allen may rack up 150 yards on his feet along with Lamar Jackson. That's going to be one of those interesting all run, all defense type of games. But I think the Bills can squeak one out late in the season to kind of play upset for the Ravens playoff potential. But unfortunately, you're going to fizzle out the rest of the year. 5-11 is what I see. I'm bringing in the Jets at the 2nd seed for the AFC Gents. A 7-9 record, not terrible, kind of what we thought they were going to get. An opening season loss to the Bills because, week 1, crazy shit happens, crazy shit that you did not predict happening. Let's talk about last year with the Jets. A 41-17 win was it against the Lions that nobody saw coming? So why not have this, early loss in the beginning and not see it coming? I think they can pull one out in prime time, though. Week 2 against the Browns, it's going to be an interesting matchup, but I see 4 straight losses, 4 really good fucking teams for the Jets coming up in that stretch. That's going to be really tough. I'm going to give them a very good win against the Jaguars, though, because I think the Jaguars will be pretty decent, but I'm going to give them a couple wins away on the road against the Jaguars and at the Dolphins. I think we could take the Snoopy Bowl, the Giants. I think we could take one from the Jets. And then I think they can also squeak one for wins for the Jets against the Redskins and Raiders. But after that, you're only seeing wins against the Dolphins and the Bills. I don't see you really going at Baltimore and winning that game. And then you got the Steelers coming up at the end of the season when they're probably going to be playing for a playoff spot in that tough AFC North. So, gents, you already know what it is. It's the reigning champs. You can't knock them until fucking Belichick and Brady are dead under the ground or out of New England. All in all, Rob Gronkowski not there. They may see that issue early on in the season. I think that may come into play at that Dolphins game. Hot as hell. Can't get it going offensively, but you know how the Patriots do. When they lose, they go on a fucking tear. 4 straight wins, but I think they get a surprise loss against the Jets when they go to visit them in the Meadowlands for an 8:15 p.m. game on October 21st. A very good game against the Browns the following week. That's going to be a great matchup. And then I think they have a loss against the Ravens in a tough defensive run matchup. Get a bye week, and then they go on a tear for a 7-1 record to finish off the season at 12-4. So, gents, I don't know if that was much surprising to you, but that's how I see it shaking up in the AFC East this year. Thank you, Fogg. I appreciate that, bud. Appreciate that. Who's tackling second? Come on.
I agree 100%.
Woo!
I got some changes on mine.
I know you do. That's what I'm waiting.
I like
for.
this. This is what I'm waiting for.
That's what I'm waiting
Spoonie
for.
and Brian, and then I know Jason's gonna throw out some weird shit right at the end. He's gonna have like the Jets 11-5. I'm waiting
Nah,
for
he's
it.
taking the Bills. He's on the Josh Allen bandwagon. The Josh Allen's going to win MVP. He's going to be right there with Andrew Luck throwing for 40 touchdown passes.
Let me get my pad out though. Timmy's up the pad.
I just want to say that I am Spoonie. Let me introduce myself. I am Spoonie, and I am the one that gets this schedule prediction correct 99.9% of the time. The 1% is me picking the Cowboys to go 6-0 every season, which that's been going on for years. So as I put on my glasses right here, I'm going. If anybody who likes to bet this year, I want you to list. Tune into 4QQ, look it up, go by my schedule, go by my predictions. I guarantee you victory. I'm going to start off with the Miami Dolphins. Yes, they got Josh Rosen. We don't know anything yet. They have a new head coach, defensive coordinator from the Patriots. Nice job he did at the Super Bowl shutting down Jared Goff. Okay, now we got, again, anytime you get something brand new, there's changes. You know, we have coaches I don't want that on my team. I'm going to use that. We got guys like Devontae Parker. We don't know if he's going to be the guy or whatever they're going to do with him. So I'm going to start it right now. They're playing the Baltimore Ravens week 1 of the season. I always say the home game is always favors the home game because, again, there's really no film to watch. But the preseason ain't the preseason. They don't give you jack. I'm giving Miami Dolphins the first victory against the Baltimore Ravens. That would be another question for Ravens fans. Can Lamar Jackson throw that football? That's going to be the headline going into week 2. So Miami get the first win. After that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see an 8-game losing streak by the Miami Dolphins. It just goes haywire. Their last losing game will be against the Indianapolis Colts. I know Jason right now, eyes is twinkling by me saying they're going to lose to his coach. He's being happy. He's happy about that. But slow down, Jason. After that, they're playing the Buffalo Bills at home. Now Miami's getting seasoned. They're getting used to the new system. Whatever's being brought on the table, they're loving it. They're liking it. Then they lose to the Cleveland Browns. When I say the Cleveland Browns, I can see right now how my man Brian E. is getting so nervous. His goosebumps are going. His hair's shaking. Brian, we get to the AFC North a couple of weeks from now. After that, they play the Philadelphia Eagles at home. That's a victory. I think Miami is getting used to the system. They're getting better after that. But after that, they lose some more games. So I'm giving Miami a 4-12 record. And I can't wait for that time. Miami Dolphins fans, if you want to know who they're going to draft, please watch Brian E. and Stephen Fogman break down from college games. Maybe 2 was the guy. I don't know. Maybe Josh Rosen ain't the guy from them. We're going with the Buffalo Bills. I hope that, you know, when I get my prediction on the Buffalo Bills, that Bill Mafia, anybody who's watching, don't jump through a table. This is going to be a pretty decent season for y'all. Do not jump through the tables. Don't bring no tables at home. Week 1, they have the New York Jets. Jets, Jets. That's a loss. After that, they play the New York Giants. That'll be the game that Eli Manning picks up that defense. Josh, I got you, brother. Week 3, they're playing the Bengals. That's their first home game. That's their third home game. That's a victory. After that, they're playing the New England Patriots. That's when the defense, Ed Oliver and company, will get into Tom Brady's you-know-what. That's a 2-game winning streak. Pretty much after that, I'm seeing them losing to the Tennessee Titans, win against the Miami Dolphins, a win against the Redskins, a loss against the Browns, a W against the Broncos. After that, they go on the losing streak. I see them win the last home game versus the New York Jets. I'm giving the Buffalo Bills a 7-9 record. So right now we got Miami with 4-12 and the Bills with 7-9. Let's go with the New England Patriots, the Super Bowl champions from last year. Tom Brady has won 6 championships so far with this New England Patriot team, but they lost Gronkowski. He is right now retired. They got a good running game, but for some reason, the AFC East draft nothing but defensive tackle with their first round pick because everybody knows that once you flush Brady out that pocket, it's a wrap. He's gonna slip. He's gonna crumble. Something's gonna happen. On top of that, ain't he 40 years old? He's 40 years old. Fogman, he's about your age. Thank you, brother. So, with that being said, week 1 against the Steelers. Brian, where are you, Brian? This is an important game for you, Brian. Where are you at? They're gonna lose at home versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Patriots will lose to the Steelers. Juju Schuster will have a phenomenal game. James Washington will have a great game. Oh, what's this? We don't need AB. But what's wrong with the Patriots? Age is catching up. Father Time has caught up to Tom Brady. Week 2 versus the Miami Dolphins. He faces his own defensive coordinator. He knows the system. Miami's rebuilding. That's a win right there. Week 3 versus the New York Jets. That's a W. At the Bills, at Bills Mafia, at Oliver and company. Listen, that defense is going to be serious. That should be a top 5 defense to pick in fantasy football if I'm you guys. Hint, hint. That's a loss. At the Washington Redskins, that's a W. At the New York Giants, that's a W. At the Jets, that's a loss. Versus the Cleveland Browns, the best team in the AFC, that's going to be a loss right there. That's when the Browns are going to take the Patriots and say, hey, you're no longer the best team. We are. Then they go to Baltimore. Well, listen, again, Lamar Jackson, I gotta see what they're gonna do with this guy. Is he really been training hard to be a good quarterback? Is he gonna be a gimmick quarterback where they use him a lot of gimmick plays like the last few games we saw last year? I don't know. So I'm gonna give the Patriots still an L because Baltimore's defense is still good enough to hold down Lamar Jackson. Patriots go to the Eagles. Then after that, they go to the Cowboys. That's a loss. I'm sorry. You're not winning in Big D. Don't make that face, Fogman. I said it. You're not winning in Big D. It's not happening. It's not happening. That's Jerry's world. Not winning in Jerry's world. They go to the Texans. That's a loss. They go to they play against the Chiefs. That's a loss. They win the last 3 home games. They are fighting for the playoff spot. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Bills. They beat the Dolphins. But guess what? You're 8-8. So if the Bills are 7-9 and the Pats are 8-8 and the Jets are 4-12, excuse me, the Dolphins are 4-12, that means you're waiting on the New York Jets. Let's wait. The New York Jets, if you're fighting for a playoff spot, that means you're fighting is you and a team in a race. Well, let's see. The New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills week 1. That's a W. Against the Browns, that's a loss. Against the Pats, that's a loss. At the Eagles, that's a W. Versus the Cowboys, that's a loss. You're not beating the Cowboys, AFC East. You're not doing it.
Dallas going 16-0 this
Hey,
year.
listen, Fogman. Do not interrupt me. Do not interrupt me.
You got to wait 6 weeks for that prediction, Fox.
It's Dr. Seuss time. Okay.
You
You got the Cowboys. That's a loss. Jets versus the Patriots at home. That new look defense with under Greg Williams, Le'Veon Bell, the new addition. Ooh, listen. Father Time will be catching up to the Patriots. I'm giving the Jets a win right there. They go to Jacksonville against Nick Foles, and as the quarterback, Jacksonville still got a solid defense. Fogman, I know you don't believe in Nick Foles, but guess what? He's solid enough to make that team a playoff team. So that's a loss right there. After that, just play at Miami Dolphins. That's a W. Again, Miami's rebuilding. Then they play the New York Giants. I'm giving the Jets the W right there. At Washington, by that time, the Redskins will be scrambling for their quarterback. So we saw Dwayne Haskins, McCoy, whoever. After that, they play the Raiders. That'll be the first game where we're gonna see the two stars who were traded from the Pittsburgh Steelers now will be facing one of them. But guess what? I think, in my opinion, Le'Veon Bell went to the better team and AB didn't. So I'm giving the Jets the win right there. They played the Bengals as a W versus Miami as a W. At the Ravens, that's a loss. At versus the Steelers on Monday night, where Brian and our 4QQ brother Corey might be coming to New York, and I'll meet you guys there. And Brian, I got my box of tissues for you, brother. So Jets will win that game. And at the last game of the season, they lose to the Bills. But guess what? Jets are 9-7, and they're winning the AFC East division.
Powerful stuff right there. What did you give the Jets in New England as a final record, Tim?
I gave the Jets 9-7 and the Patriots 8-8 season.
Jesus.
Wow, 8-8.
I said it. Spoonie from 4QQ said it.
Wow.
Nothing to say.
Not even my team spooning. I might be making a bet about that. Shit.
Hey, listen. Father Time. Remember, listen, you're talking to the original Odell Beckham Jr. will be getting traded for 2 years.
Yeah, but you obviously don't know. Tom Brady's number 2 on the receiving list for 40-year-olds old up. Jerry Rice is number 1. Tom Brady has 6 yards. Respect.
Here's the thing.
That was a beautiful stat, by the way.
I want to explain this to everybody who's watching. I'm not picking. I'm not picking because I'm trying to troll. I'm not trolling at all. I really believe the AFC East got better. These guys went defense in the first round. Big studs that Fogmeg and Brian E. was breaking down during the college scouting for the NFL draft, getting us ready, prepared for that. And they were drafted there for a reason.
Listen, don't throw our names.
No.
Fogmeg cosign, Brian cosign.
I appreciate that you value.
Listen to me. You guys have broke down on Ed Oliver, Ed Oliver went to the Bills. Christian Wilkins, who went to the Miami Dolphins, and Quillen went to the Jets. There's a reason why those 3 big dudes went in the first round for the AFC for those teams. Because again, everybody, they know the weakness for Tom Brady. You get that rush up that middle, he collapsed. We've seen that. The Eagles shown that with Fletcher Cox and others. So my thing is this: the defense from the AFC East got stronger. Miami Dolphins still the rebuilding mode, but the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets, I'm sorry. I really do think they have a strong enough defense that can complement the offense and for they can disrupt the Patriots and Tom Brady. I really do think that.
All right, before we get the third person going, Brian, just want to shout out some people in the box. Thank you for coming in, tuning in tonight, everybody, making it a nice little chat box. BJ, Mary, and Maston. BJ supporting you, Tim. He and Mary as well. They know Cowboys going 19-0 this year. But Maston Park has some comments for you in the past too, Tim, and now he wants to know what kind of strain you're smoking tonight. No way the Jets are winning the AFC East. And the Pats aren't missing the playoffs, according to Mary, Tim. So you better put some respect on her name as well in the chat.
So let me just go. I'm gonna be pretty quick with mine because I pretty much agree with Josh's order. Except I think my win-loss records are a little different than hers. I'm gonna start with the last place team, Miami Dolphins. They're going to be the fourth place team in this division, and I'm just going to straight up say their first 4 games are all losses: Ravens, Patriots, at Dallas, Chargers. Like I just don't see them winning any of those games. They might upset. Not upset. I mean, they might beat the Ravens, but I just don't see that happening, especially at the quarterback position. In the QB battle there, don't see them being New England, even though it is in Miami. I don't see it being Dallas in Dallas, and I don't see them beating San Diego or LA at home. So then they have a bye week. This is where you insert Josh Rosen. This is why I think he's going to come in. I think they have a bye week there, perfect time to bring him in, settle him down. Then they play Washington week 6. Now, this if they don't win in Washington, I literally can see them losing the next 10 games or the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. I literally can see this team going 0-10, like legitimately going 0-10 until they play Buffalo again in week 11 at home. Dwayne Haskins, I believe, will be starting by week 6. They get him at home. I think they can steal that win. I think that's where they pick up their first victory against Dwayne Haskins, who's a rookie, who's going to be struggling, going to be growing pains. Makes sense. After they can get that win. After that, I see a loss in Buffalo. The Miami generally does not play well in Buffalo. It's going to be a little colder in Buffalo. October 20th game. I think that's going to be a toss-up game. I pick Buffalo just because it is on the road. They're not going to beat the Steelers. Not going to beat us. It's, again, on the road. Jets, I have the Jets actually playing pretty well this year. That's a loss. At Indianapolis, I have them Indianapolis playing pretty well this year. I don't think they're going to beat Andrew Luck in Indianapolis at all. Buffalo, this is another win they could get. I think this is a win they can steal. That's 2 wins right there. So at this point, they'll be, I believe, 2-10. Okay. At Cleveland. Now, this is a tricky one because I believe I want to say it's almost Thanksgiving, I believe, around this time. This is a tricky one because I don't know what the Browns are going to be. I don't really know how they're going to look. I'm not going to give the Browns a division. I'm not going to I'm not the one. I'm not BWO. That's not what I do. And I just don't know what the Browns are going to look like. This could be a potential win for the Dolphins, but I'm going to give it an L right now. Okay. I think they're going to lose to the Eagles. I think they're going to lose to the Jets again in New York. I think they're going to lose to the New York Giants in New York as well. The Bengals are a win. Here's why I think the Bengals are a win, because I don't know what Andy Dalton's going to look like. I'm not really sure what the Bengals are going to be. That's a toss-up game. And then obviously an L to New England Patriots again. So I have them at 3-13. I have the Dolphins for that reason going 3-13. I just based off the quarterback situation being so fickle, we're not really sure. They just don't have a lot of weapons. Obviously, they just lost their offensive lineman in a pretty serious car accident. There's that. I just don't see this team really making any type of noise at all this year in this league, and they may be in the market for another quarterback. Could be Tua, could be Herbert. Who knows who it could be? But it all depends on how Josh Rosen performs in this. So I have them going 3-13. Next team, Buffalo. Buffalo's pretty interesting as well. They're one of those teams where they can kind of go either way. First 2 games are in New York. They're all in New York. So I mean, there's kind of toss-up games. They don't really leave the state until week 3. Obviously, this is all this entire season is going to be predicated on Josh Allen's development. The defense is pretty stout. I will say the defense of Buffalo looks pretty stout, especially now you add an Ed Oliver to that defense. I mean, the defense right now for the Buffalo Bills is their bright spot. So Tim does make a point that all the teams in the AFC East did go defense, obviously, trip up Brady. But I do see them going 0-2 their first 2 games. I do see them losing to the Bills or to the Jets, and I have them losing to the Giants. I do have them losing those first 2 games, but particularly because they're both on the road. I have them going back home and beating the Bengals. I have them when that's going to be their first win, to be 1-2, and then 1-3 when they lose to New England. I have them beating Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee is going to be that good. They have a little bit of a quarterback situation as well, Marcus Mariota, and they have a bye week. So after the bye week, it kind of gets into the nitty-gritty of their schedule now. I have them being the Dolphins. I have them losing to the Eagles. So here with the Redskins, again, Rookie quarterback, I have them beating Washington. I think that defense is really going to go after and get after Dwayne Haskins. Again, the Browns, another toss-up team. It's in Cleveland, though. It is in Cleveland. I'm going to go ahead and give Cleveland that W, but I'm going to give them the next win against Miami. Denver's coming to town. Cross-country trip. I have Denver losing that game. You know, those West Coast teams don't do well coming all the way over to the East Coast. You know, the whole body clock thing. So I always take that into consideration. I have Denver losing that game and the Bills winning that game as well. At Dallas, that's going to be a pretty interesting game as well. I have Dallas winning that game, though. I think it's going to be close, but I have them winning that game. And then in Baltimore comes to town. I have them winning that game. I have them losing the next two to the Steelers and to New England, back to back right there. And then I have them losing to the Jets. So that'll put them at 7-9 for me. I have the Bills going about 7-9. So I think they can pull out a 7-victory season, but it's all going to be predicated to how Josh Allen develops. But this defense is going to carry this team. I mean, it is defense or bust. I see a lot of low scoring, close games, a couple overtime games there where Josh Allen's could probably have to use his arm to win some games this year. He's going to have to show us he can, throw the football. So I have 7-9 Bills. So an improvement. And now the New York Jets, who, I believe they're going to have a pretty good season. I feel like out of all the teams under New England with the young quarterbacks, this is the team that I feel like is the most put together. Obviously, the acquisition of Le'Veon Bell, and I have them going 2-1. I have them beating the Bills and Browns the first two games, but I have them losing to New England in New England. And then I have them going to Philly, and I actually have them winning that game. I think it's going to be a little bit of upset. They have the bye week. They have time to get ready for it. I think that's going to be an upset in Philly. I have the Jets winning that. Then I have them losing to Dallas. I think Dallas will come to New York and beat them. And then I have them moving to New England. Jacksonville going down to Florida is going to be a tricky game. That's going to be a game. I'm not really sure where Nick Foles is going to be. Where's Jacksonville going to be? How are they going to look at that point? My guess, I think they're going to look pretty good. I mean, this is my guess. But I do have the Jets winning that game as well. I do have this winning that game, and I have obviously beating the Miami Dolphins. And the New York Giants, I have the Jets also beating New York Giants, and then I have them beating the Washington Redskins. Again, rookie quarterback on the road. I think it's this easy victory for the Giants. Oakland Raiders come to town, and that's a W. And then the Bengals come to town. I believe that's going to be a W, as well as the Dolphins. At Baltimore, when it gets a little colder, now you start running the football now. Now you're going to start running the football a little more. So with Lamar Jackson in that running game, I actually have the Jets losing that game because I think the Ravens are actually going to be in full force at that time. I believe that Lamar Jackson at this point should be a better passer, but I still think they're going to use him the same way they used him last year, but they're going to actually roll him out and let him pass a little more. I think the maturation process will begin with him. I have the Baltimore Ravens winning that game. I have them losing to us in Pittsburgh. I have us beating them at home, and then I have them winning. I have them beating the Bills in Buffalo. That would put them at 10-6. For the New York Giants. I have the Giants going 10-6, and I feel like they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot.
You mean the Jets, but I would love the Giants to go 10-6.
I apologize. The Jets. I have the Jets going 10-6. Look, this football team, Sam Darnold, I believe is going to take a step forward because of Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell comes in to take a lot of pressure off Sam. They don't have the receiving core you really want, but I do believe that Le'Veon Bell can help that a little bit in some type of capacity. But again, that defense is pretty much the shining light for New York. The defense is pretty much for the New York Jets. So I do believe the Jets can win at least 10 games if again, the maturation of a young quarterback. That's the theme of this entire division besides New England. It's the maturation of the young quarterbacks. All right. Going on to New England. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I'm going to make this real quick, okay, with New England. New England's going 8-0 in the division. They're going to beat everybody. Like I have New England losing to no team in the division. I'm going to say that right now. Look.
Damn, that's a hot fucking take right there for this year, especially.
Why I say that is because of the theme I just mentioned, the maturation of young quarterbacks. And what does Bill Belichick do to young quarterbacks? He eats them alive. Okay, Bill Belichick eats young quarterbacks for breakfast. So
While you talk, Brian, I'm gonna do some research and see when the last time did New England actually slept the whole. I'm sure it wasn't too long ago, but
I want to say it was not too long ago at all. I want to say maybe a couple of years ago.
I could be shocked.
I mean,
you go ahead. So I have them winning. I have them sweeping the division. I don't think New England's going to lose a game in the division. So that brings us to obviously the out of conference games. Pittsburgh. That's a win. I have them beating us. Pittsburgh is going to be a win. Cleveland. Oh, Washington. Wait, I'm sorry. Washington. That's going to be a win. Okay. That's going to be a win right there. New York. I'm sorry, Cleveland. That's going to be a win. Philly Baltimore. I think that's going to be a loss. I think Tom Brady historically does not play well in Baltimore. So I have that being a loss. Upset, if you will. Okay. Going to Philly, right? This will be actually a back-to-back game, right? But I wanted to say loss, but they don't lose back-to-back games. New England very rarely loses back-to-back games, especially after a bye week. So I have them beating Philly. At Philly. Going to Dallas, right? I actually agree with Tim. I do think this is going to be one of those games where Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys always have one of these signature wins where everybody gets excited and then they start saying, oh, the Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. I think this is going to be one of those wins. And I have Dallas actually beating New England in Foxborough on November 24th. Going down to Houston. That's going to be a W as well. That's going to be a W. Because again, they don't lose back-to-back games. Kansas City will be coming to town. Rematch of the AFC title game. I'm going to go ahead and say that's going to be a loss. I think Patrick Mahomes comes into Foxborough, gets his revenge on Tom Brady and the Patriots. That's going to be a loss. I think they win that game. And then obviously the last non-conference game is it's the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's going to be an easy win. It's going to be at Cincinnati on December 15th. And obviously the last two games are win. That puts them at 12-4. So I have them obviously winning the division at 12-4 for the New England Patriots.
All right, Brian, if you're up to it and you want to think about it, I might want to make a small little wager bet about that New England 8-0 against the division. Mm-hmm. Upon my research, going all the way back to 2010, the last time New England has swept the division was 2012. Mm-hmm. Only one time in the past decade. So if you want to think of something,
I'll think about that.
I think I'll put some money on that. I really don't see that happening. Like Tim said, there's going to be eventually a shift of power. And I especially with that, past 7 seasons, we saw how bad the Dolphins were last year, and they squeaked out that miracle win against the Patriots. And the Patriots, in my opinion, were probably better last year than they were this year, for damn sure. Yeah, that's something to think about that, because I think I want to put something on that.
Here's the thing with New England, and one more thing before I let Steven or Jason go. Here's the thing. I think the New England Patriots did a hell of a job at surrounding him with a running game. Sony Michel is going to be a difference maker, right? N'Keal Harry, I'll tell you right now, that was a huge pickup for them. Huge pickup. And then they got Damian Harris. Like, if that wasn't the steal of the draft, Damian Harris, I believe me and Steven had him very, very high on our running back boards. And they picked him up to line up with Sony Michel. I mean, what the New England Patriots doing for Tom Brady right now is surrounding him, obviously, with a running game, so he doesn't have to drop back as much, and he can go into the play action. I think that's going to be huge. But as it pertains to me thinking they're going to sweep them, again, this whole division to me, when I look at the Jets, Sam Darnold, second-year quarterback, I believe, right? Second year, right? Yeah, second-year quarterback. Yeah, second-year. Mm-hmm. Bills, Josh Allen, second-year guy. Josh Rosen, second-year guy. I mean, these are guys literally in developmental mode right now. And what Bill Belichick does to young quarterbacks, man, it's going to be tough for these teams to beat him, to beat Bill Belichick as a young quarterback.
Now here's my thing, and don't get me wrong, but you're not forcing that comment about Bill Belichick and young quarterbacks. But Pat Mahomes last season was his first season starting. We saw nothing out of Pat Mahomes.
That's different.
No, but no. Listen, he's a monster. But here's the thing, though. Sam Darnold, the game against Detroit Lions last year, that was an incredible game. Put on almost 50 points. The defense was on.
Mm-hmm.
The key thing in getting Brady is you got to hit him. I look back at the Eagles game. I think it was 2-3 years ago when it went up to Foxborough, and the game. I believe that game he didn't have Gronkowski.
Mm-hmm.
Fletcher Cox, they was rushing up that middle. He was being polarized.
Here's the thing, Tim. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I mean,
no, in this division, the division got better. That's just it right there. Can a sweep happen? Of course, a sweep can happen, but I think something's gonna happen during this season for a shift of power to go the other way.
Lastly, I just think that when I look at the roster, the depth chart of New England, and what I can see them actually doing, putting these running backs, these are usually New England likes these like running backs who can do it all, right?
Right.
Even a guy like Damian Harris,
Swiss knives,
who's gonna be in like not an all. Damian Harris wasn't really an all-purpose back in Alabama. He was just a 3-down back, run up the middle type of running back. They're going to try to run the football this year in New England. So like I know what you're saying.
And they still got Rex stowed away too.
You got
Rex Burkhead.
Rex stowed away. You got James White. I know what you're saying, Tim. Get Tom Brady. You can't get him to run the football.
No. I just believe Father Time's going to come up on him. I really do believe Father Time will beat him.
It will, but you can't get him when he only throws the ball 25 times a game, which I think is going to pretty much happen. I don't think Tom Brady. I don't think you're good. I think the days of you
smart coaching,
Brady, I think days you've seen Tom Brady throwing the ball 40, 45 times a game is over. That's all. And Bill Belichick knows this, which is why I believe they went out and got a Sony Michel, Damian Harris, a big target like N'Keal Harry.
But what about the Patriots defense, though? They lost some plays. When Trey Flowers is used, they lost to the Detroit Lions.
Jarrett Stidham is the future.
I mean,
defensively, they did pick up Michael Bennett. Dante Hightower is still there.
Yeah. Chung Bennett will produce. And they got Jamie back.
Jamie's back. Stephon Gilmore. I think the defense is
that's their strength right now. Is I would say the linebackers in the secondary. The line really isn't that great. I don't have a lot of faith in Shelton. Lawrence Guy's pretty decent. Dietrich Wise isn't too bad. Those are kind of underrated, under the radar guys. But Michael Bennett is probably your best on that line for damn sure. But I love having the two McCourtys, Chung and Gilmore back there.
Yeah, their secondary is stout.
Even Deron Harmon, he's pretty damn good. They're pretty set back there.
You have faith in the offensive line for the Patriots?
The offensive line, Isaiah Wynn's going to be the newbie over there on the left side. David Andrews is an above average center. Joe Tooney is an above average guard. They're all above average. Shaquille Mason, Marcus Cannon.
I have faith that they're going to get the ball in Brady's hands quick enough that you're not going to worry the offensive line.
That running game, like Brian said, it's just going to be earth, wind, and fire out there in fucking New England. It's just going to be Bill Belichick knows what he's doing, man. He's been around these teams for so damn long.
And Gronk coming back, by the way. I'm not gonna lie now.
What? Give me the week. What week? October 6th against the Redskins. The 10th for the prime time against the Giants.
I said that he's gonna start trading August, September. I'm sorry. He's gonna get an itch in August. Start training in September and October and be back by November. So let's say in true Gronk fashion, I think he'll be back. They have a bye week, week 10. I think he'll be back against Philly, November 17th.
All right, nice. All right, we got the records. I got these records going down. We got Steven and Jason to get through. So, fellas, whichever one of you want to step up. Fox might be away from his mic real quick, Jay, if you want to go ahead and take honors for our fourth member. Get the choral started, baby.
All right. So, as I was listening to you guys, I was just thinking like, here's the thing. Here's the thing about records, predictions, right? How many times we ever had an undefeated season? I think the only team I can think of is the Dolphins and the Patriots that ever done went perfect in the regular season, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing is there is going to be a couple of upsets on the way, and like Timothy said, this division got a little bit better. We got a couple of guys, come rookie quarterbacks. They're on their second season now, right? So the development. I can see a little bit of development with those two quarterbacks, and I'm talking about Sam Darnold and Josh Allen. Now, the Dolphins. I'm not gonna get too crazy with them. I just feel like that they're. I don't know. I have them going 4-12. I don't think that they're gonna make a lot of noise, honestly. So I'm not gonna get too much into them. I just know that they're just not gonna be good. So I'm just gonna get away from the Dolphins the Dolphins for a second. Now, the third team in the division, I'm actually gonna go with the New York Jets. Now I want to go through their schedule for a second. So, Josh, can you pull up their schedule for 1 sec? Let's kind of roll through this.
Sure can.
And I got a hot take for this one too. You guys might think I'm crazy with this one. All right. So first game against the Bills, I think that's going to be a loss. I think the Bills. I think the Jets. They have some new pieces on the defense. They got to get reintegrated into that scheme. The Bills got a little bit more continuity with their scheme, and they just added more pieces to that defense. And they've been a very strong defense coming up. So based on the continuity and the familiarity, and Sean Dermott is just an excellent defensive head coach. So I'm going to give them the L against the Bills. Against the Browns, okay, that is definitely going to be a loss. I mean it's been PWO. So number 3, the Patriots. That is going to be a loss as well. However, the only reason I'm saying it's going to be a loss is because at the Patriots, because I feel like beginning of the season, teams kind of getting into it a little bit, and as the season goes on, you see the greater teams start to get better and better, and the worst teams get worse and worse. So I'm going to give them an L to the Patriots, but slightly. Number 4, let's go with the Eagles. That is also going to be a loss because it's at Philadelphia, and Wentz is playing for a contract, and he's got a lot to prove, and they got a lot of weapons on that team. So I feel like that's going to be an added motivation in itself to kind of get them over the hump. So I'm going to give them the loss against the Eagles. The Cowboys, ready for this, Spoony? You ready for this? They're gonna beat the Cowboys. Cowboys fans, I'm sorry. By that time, you will start to see kind of like the scheme kind of come together. You'll start to see the team kind of find this identity a little bit, and you'll start to see Sam Darnold kind of take that next step. All right, I still believe he was. I think he was coming out. I think he was the second best quarterback out of the draft behind Josh Rosen, in my opinion. I think you're gonna finally see some of that coming along. So I'm going to give them the win against the Cowboys. All right. Here's the hot take. The Jets are going to go on a 5-game winning streak, starting with the Cowboys.
Wow. Okay.
And let me tell you why. All right. So you got the Cowboys at home. They got the Patriots at home. Now, here's the thing about division games. Division games are always unpredictable, right? Because you say, well, this team has been dominating the division such and such. And like Josh brought up too, they haven't swept the division since 2012. Am I right, Josh?
Correct.
And it seems like there's division games, division rivals always, they have this, there's a special kind of, I don't know, a special like dynamic with that, and things never go the way it's supposed to go. So that's going to be my first upset is they're going to beat the Patriots. All right. Now we're going to the Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars, I'm giving them the win as well. Nick Foles, like I said, that defense started coming along. Greg Williams is a good defensive-minded coach, and I just think they're gonna get the best of Nick Foles. I know from Fogman, you want to hear that part, don't you? Fogman likes that. Get the Foles so he can share everybody up. All right. Next up, Josh, where you at? Get that schedule back up. All right. So next up.
Sorry,
Right,
I had to step away for a second, Jason.
All right, so Dolphins, like I said, Dolphins, they're just a lost cause. I'm going to give them a win against the Dolphins. The Giants, they'll go back home against the Giants. And this is, I'm sorry, Josh, Giants fans, I'm sorry. This is the way it is. They're going to beat the Giants because, you got Eli Manning. I mean, I think we might see Daniel Jones by that time possibly. And Daniel Jones has got to, he's got to work the kinks out a little bit, kind of got to figure myself with the pace of the game. So that dynamic right there is going to kind of work in the Jets' favor. So I'm going to give them the W. All right, where I'm at. Let's see. Redskins. So we have week 10. Week 10. Oh, wait, week 11. I'm sorry. Week 11. Redskins, I got to go be in the Redskins as well. All right. And against the Raiders, I'm also going to give them the win. Like I said, they're at home against the Raiders. Okay. So it's a different breed. I'm going to give them a loss against the Bengals. They're going to lose to the Bengals. The Bengals, I know they have some injuries on the offensive line, but I still see them kind of putting things together a little bit more. They're a better team offensively, and they're on the road. And the 15. Now, I'm gonna actually give them the Dolphins a win against the Jets. Honestly, they're gonna finish with a 4-game losing streak starting at week 13. So, lost to the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Bills. So I have them going. Let's see. I have them going 7-9. If my math's right. 7-9 for the Jets. All right. So
we just went through all of that for you to tell us they're going to go 7-9.
Listen, man. Listen. Let me speak, okay? Let the kick in a little bit, okay? Let me speak. All right, for the Buffalo Bills, Josh, you pull up that schedule for me 1 sec, please.
Man,
all right,
fuck Josh Allen.
And I want to give a shout out to my Bills fans, Matt McGregor and Hobbs Ellison. You guys might like this one. All right. So week 1, I got them going. Well, first of all, the record's gonna be 8-8. I got them going getting the victory against the Jets. And that's obvious why I just playing right. Giants. That's gonna be another one. That defense is gonna be spectacular. And also, too, you got to keep in mind too. Last season, the Bills they had freaking Nathan Peterman as their quarterback for I think 2 or 3 games. And that Josh Allen, I think, would have made a bit of a difference, and they went 6-10. So, with an improved defense, I think that's going to come in huge, especially with Josh Allen and the added weapons they had on the team. That's going to help out a lot. So, I'm going to say a win against the Jets, a win against the Giants, a win against the Bengals. They got to start 3-0. Another hot take, possibly. Another hot take. All right. Next 2 games going to be losses against the Patriots and the Titans. Week 6, they go against the Dolphins again. That's going to be the next game is going to be the Dolphins. That's another win. Week 7 against the Eagles. That's going to be a loss. Week 8 against the Redskins. That's also going to be a W. Like I said, the Redskins, the offense. I don't know if Trent Williams is going to be available for a training camp. I mean, they got some issues to work that out with. So who knows what's going to happen with that. We're at the Browns. That's the loss. So 10 against the Dolphins. I'm actually going to give the Dolphins the victory on that one. Week 11, like I said, division games are kind of unfamiliar. That's a little bit. We don't know what's going to happen with division right. There's always a different element to division rival games. All right, week 11 against the Broncos. I'm going to give them a W. All right, week 12, they go against the Broncos. I'm sorry, the Broncos. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the Broncos. No, next game is against the Cowboys. I'm sorry. Jesus. It's going to be against the Cowboys, and I'll give you the victory, Spoonie. They're going to lose to the Cowboys. Ravens, I'm giving them a W. I think they're just a better overall team, put together team, I think, in my opinion. Week against the Steelers, that's going to be an L. Week 15, the Patriots, that's going to be another loss. And week 16, they're going to beat the Jets. So my overall record for the Bills is going to be 8-8. All right. And I'm not going to get too crazy with the Patriots. I will say I'm going to give them 11-5 record. I'm not going to go into detail with the Patriots. They've been leading this business for how long? And even though Brady might take a step back, I still think they're just a better overall team. I mean, coaching, offense, and defense. So 11-5 for the Patriots. And that is my predictions.
All right. I can't hate on that. I think we got Fogs still to go to give us his in-depth Fogometrics for the AFC
There's
East.
no in-depth Fogometrics.
Fogometrics, baby. Gear up.
East. This is crazy. Look, Josh, you hit it on the head. If anyone's going to follow anything, not that 99.9% that Spoonie said he wins on, that just dropped a couple of basis points here. It's now at 90%. By the time we're done, it'll be at 2% with all our predictions for the teams this season. But there's no reason to go into this. You guys beat these goddamn schedules to death with it's ridiculous. Like dead horse. Beat it. And I do have challenges though. Brian and Tim, especially, if Tim would stop hiding, I don't know what he went to do. But the Jets, Jesus Christ, you guys threw the Jets up there as if this team is going. Tim's got them winning the damn division. You've got them going 10-6. B, you know, I got a great deal of respect for you, brother. But what the hell are you guys thinking that this Jets? First of all, the defense. Everyone's talking about the defense. Need I remind you that this defense was ranked like 25th or 26th in points allowed last season. This defense was ranked like 27th in yards allowed last season. They were a bottom third defense. Bottom third defense last season. And we're talking about how great this defense is. Why? Because they added Quinnen Williams and C.J. Mosley.
Damn.
Let's put the brakes on how great this defense is. I do believe, and I agree with you guys, it's improved, but it didn't go from bottom third to top third overnight. Sorry,
there were some injuries on the defense. There were some injuries on the defense last year.
I don't care if there were injuries on that defense.
But that matters.
He makes a good point. Good point in the court of law.
It matters that they lost. They had some injuries.
And for a little bit of measure, do you have the numbers right now, Fox? What was Cleveland's defense ranked when Greg Williams was over there last year? It was probably at most in the 15, 17, that range?
No, Cleveland was like middle of the pack defense.
Right,
middle. Great defense. Everyone has these delusions of grandeur.
I'm going to pull it up right now.
Browns, but we'll get to that. Even with the injuries, you didn't lose major players on your defense. You had good players. You didn't lose major players on your defense. And then, again, you brought in a defensive coordinator who, look up his history. Look up his history. Greg Williams isn't a great defensive coordinator.
Just to support you, Fox. Cleveland last year, their defense was 21 in points, 30 in yards. And the Jets, what were they last year? 29 in points, 25 in yards. So, Greg Williams, you better start putting some bounties out there.
Even with the bounties, the New Orleans Saints that won the Super Bowl, they still had a bottom third ranked defense. But they just led the league in turnovers, takeaways.
But what roster? What kind of defensive roster did Greg Williams ever have that's better than what the Jets have? Let's be serious.
I will say that Adam Gase is definitely an addition because I think he actually made Miami much better last year than they ever should have been. And I think it will show a little bit with him. But I don't think it's going to be monumental like you're saying. A 10-6 record.
A 10-6. Listen,
that's a little too far bet for me.
7-9, 8-8. That is a legit record for.
Well, again, I'm predicating all of this on the development of Sam Darnold, who I believe is going to take a step forward. I do, especially with the addition of Le'Veon Bell. Right? I do believe the addition of Greg Williams is going to help them defensively, and I do believe with the addition of with the combination of development of Sam Darnold and the addition of Le'Veon Bell, I think collectively, balance wise, I think this team is a lot better. The one glaring weakness I think this team is really going to have is the receiving core is horrible. So I don't really know where that production is going to come from with Sam. So Sam Darnold's got to work his own little magic. I mean, he's going to have to create. He's going to have to make others better. But again, I think that's going to come from. I think it's going to come from Le'Veon Bell as well.
But do you understand that the oxymoron that you're presented there with Sam Darnold? I agree he's going to take a step forward, but to take a 10-6 step forward, again, it's predicated on the development of young quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have his best receiver is Le'Veon Bell.
It is. You're right.
So you're right. The fact that this guy took a year off. He took a year off. Mm-hmm. Are we really expecting him to come back? Listen, I'm all for Le'Veon Bell. Are we really expecting him to come back and pull a David Johnson of 2 years ago or pull a Saquon Barkley of last year? Because frankly, that's what he's going to have to do
you also
to even get to 8-8.
Here's the thing. I think Go ahead, Jason.
No, I'm saying, but I mean, Thomas, he's got a point, but you also have to take. I mean, you got to take into consideration too is like Le'Veon Bell's going from the Steelers' offensive line to the Jets' offensive line. I think that is a big difference. I mean, the Jets still had their offensive line is a work in progress too, so that may affect how well they do. But I mean, I think the defense is going to improve from last year to this year because of Greg Williams and of course Adam Gates, like Josh said. But yeah, I haven't gone 7-9, but yeah, there's some issues they have, and Fogman's right. He had a year off. We don't know how good he's going to be coming off a year off. So there's a lot of question marks.
You know what's funny?
I was just gonna say one more thing. I'm just saying the presence of having a guy like Le'Veon Bell in the backfield alone is gonna help that team. It's gonna help Sam Darnold. The presence of him. I'm not saying Le'Veon Bell is going to have. I think Le'Veon Bell's had his best season probably. It was in Pittsburgh. That's what he's. I don't think he's going to duplicate what he did in Pittsburgh, just based off what Jason said with the offensive line not being the same. Obviously, the team around him not being the same. But Le'Veon Bell is still a great running back. And he's probably the best weapon the Jets have had in years, and obviously the best weapon that Sam Darnold has had since he's been in the NFL in his very short career. I think that alone is going to help Sam Darnold win some games this year. Because I do believe in his development. I do believe Adam Gase is going to have a very positive effect on him.
On top of that, the defense is very strong. The defense was able to help the Jets put up 50 points at Detroit on the road. When was the last time we seen a team put up 50 points on the road against another team? You barely even see that. And they were hot from the first to the end. Adam Gase, like Josh just came out and said, it's an addition. He made Miami better. Now he has his own team where he could build the way he wants. You got a strong defense. Greg Williams never had a defensive player roster like the way he has with the Jets. They're solid across the board between defensive line. CJ, did we forget we got CJ Mosley at the linebacking spot?
They got CJ Mosley.
I understand they got CJ Mosley. I got the additions that they got. But you're talking about a team that gave up 441 points last season, right? No, Tim, because you mentioned the Detroit Lions and how they smacked the Detroit Lions, and that was great. You also mentioned how teams catch teams off guard first week of the season, right? You also throw that in there as well. The Detroit Lions only allowed 360 points after that game.
Okay, but see,
total for the season, 360 points total for the season. So after that 50-point game, they only allowed 310 points to be scored on them after that. Meanwhile, the Jets were damn near dead last in points allowed.
Because here's the thing: numbers. Numbers. Because sometimes
numbers will lead you to the truth. Numbers will lead you to the truth.
Just numbers, man. Numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you throw out your PFF and go on Fathermetrics, I am the first student. I believe in it, but with these numbers, you got to explain. Listen, also
numbers, man.
They also had to score points. They couldn't score points.
I was about to say that they were playing from behind a lot. They had to change the scheme a little bit on defensively. They lost Sam Darnold. They lost Sam Darnold for a few games. They had to change some things. Yeah. So that's going to affect the defense as a whole statistically. But everybody knows even coming into last year, even there were flashes of last year where the Jets defense is one of the best defenses in the league. Despite what the numbers say, I get it. I definitely understand that. However, when they were healthy, the Jets had one of the best defenses in the NFL.
It's going to be a matter of being consistent. It's going to be a matter of them being consistent, and that consistency, again, at best, would have them ranked, in my opinion, probably somewhere between 13 and 18 at the end of the season.
Look, if they're a middle of the pack defense and Sam Darnold is going to develop like the way he's going to develop, and Le'Veon Bell is going to help, they should go 10-6.
There's no way. Not Robbie Anderson, Quincy Enunwa, Josh Bellamy.
Josh, can you put up the schedule again for me?
Which one?
On the Jets schedule? The Jets.
Yeah, here we
I'm
go.
just looking at the schedule right here. I'm looking at it right here, right? I'm looking at it from Jacksonville. That's toss-up game, right? Dolphins should be an L. I think they beat the New York Giants in New York, so that's really like a home, right? Washington, that's a W. Oakland, I think that could be a W. The Bengals, another W. The Dolphins, another W. So you see the string of W's potentially for the New York Jets. That's one of the schedule just favors it, just based on how the games are stacked up. Now their schedule is pretty top heavy. They have New England a couple times between week 3 and week 6. They have your Eagles, they have Dallas, and they have Cleveland. So their schedule is kind of top heavy. But that middle of the schedule from Jacksonville on October 27th, toss-up game, all the way to the Dolphins on December 8th. I mean, those games, they could win about 6 games there. Just on that stretch alone. And then they finish it out with Baltimore, which is another toss-up game. We're not sure who Lamar Jackson's going to be. I think he's going to play well. I think I had an L with there too, but we're not sure. The Steelers is an L, and then I have them beating Buffalo for the season finale. I mean, there's a possibility just how the schedule stacks up if we're just looking at it team by team, right? This team can win a stretch of about 4, 5, 6 games in the middle there. So don't be surprised if you see the Jets, right? Don't be surprised if you see the Jets on like a 4 or 5 game winning streak. Just don't be shocked by that. I'm just saying right now.
Yeah, Maston Parker made a comment about Matt Barkley putting up 42 on the Jets. And yeah, I forgot all about that when he came in last year for game number 10. He 60 completion percentage for 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 117 rating. Yeah, the Jets have some work to do, don't they, Fox?
I love Matt Barkley. They do have work.
They have work to do, but I'm not gonna,
work to do. I don't see any of these teams. You know who the outlier is, and I hate saying this because it's going to make Matt McGregor and Hobbs just what's a politically correct way to say cream themselves?
Politically correct, politically correct, clean themselves.
They're gonna buffalo all over.
Listen, the Bills, if Josh Allen can produce a 57, 58 completion percentage this season, which would be 5 to 6 points ahead of what he did last year, throw for 21 to 22 touchdowns, right, 11 to 12 interceptions, and has a quarterback rating of above 80, then the Buffalo Bills could potentially win 8 or 9 games this season.
And that's highly possible too, but
and that's,
I don't know if that's okay. I don't know if that's
we're also talking about Josh Allen being the best running back on that team right now.
Look at what Josh Allen did at the end of the season compared to the beginning of the season, right?
Can I get an energy check on Steven real quick? Can I get an energy check on that? Because you know what? Hold on. Wait a minute. You're sitting here telling me that Josh Allen, based on as your outlier, the Bills, based on his production, he's going to be the reason why the Bills are pretty much going to go have a better record than the Jets. So basically, you're saying that Josh Allen is going to progress more, if not better.
No,
than Sam Darnold.
Absolutely not. What I'm saying.
Look. I'm saying that because if he goes from, I don't have Josh Allen's stats up right now because I know they're pretty atrocious. I mean, I've seen them before. I know he completed 52% of his passes. I know I'm pretty close. I know he had 8 touchdowns. I mean, he was horrible last year. I mean, he was awful. He was bad. I can't even at the very least, at least I can say Lamar Jackson, he was good. I know he didn't throw much, but at the very least I can say Lamar Jackson actually made plays with his arm, right? He made when he had to. I can say that, honestly say that. I've seen it. I went back and watched his tape. When he had to, he made play. Josh Allen never did that.
Here's the thing.
He did not do that.
Hold on a second.
No. Jason.
Here's what I said.
Here's what I
said. Because
I'll get back to you, Brian. I'll get back to you, Brian.
I think the Jets will finish ahead of the Bills. What I'm saying is if there's a team that has an opportunity because of the gap, the swing that they have, I think Josh Allen, because of what they've put around him in Buffalo, can accidentally stumble onto the type of numbers that I just said. If he's able to do that, they can have an 8-8 or 9-7 season. I don't believe he can do that.
What did they put around him?
So let's look at this offensive line first. The additions of Cody Ford. You've got Deion Dawkins there, who is awesome, and Mitch Morse. These are good offensive linemen. You look at the running back.
Hey, you left, Ryan.
And you know where I am with Devin Singletary.
So old LaShawn McCoy, old Frank Gore.
Did you hear me? Did you hear me mention Frank Gore or LaShawn McCoy?
I'm saying Devin Singletary. I like Devin too.
Pay attention to Devin Singletary and TJ Yeldon.
I will, but
TJ Yeldon is garbage. If Singletary doesn't pan out, TJ Yeldon is not the answer.
I don't know why TJ Yeldon gets so much hype. I like him at Bama, but he's not the same dude in the NFL.
He's not. From a receiving option, he's a good receiving option.
Josh Allen can't throw.
No. Here's the thing with Frogman. I have to do with Frogman about this because if you compare the Jets roster versus the Bills roster, okay, defense, let's call it even. They both got good defense. Maybe the Bills got a little better.
It's not even. The Bills defense is better.
All right. We give you 1 and 2, but here's a difference. Now, when it comes to quarterback, Sam Darnold,
I'm overjudging a little bit.
Sam Darnold, in my opinion, like Roger said, Josh Allen.
You give it Brian sounded like Kevin Hart for a second.
Don't be so anal, Brian. Brian, don't be so anal, Brian. Listen, Brian, don't be so anal, man. Jesus, I didn't mean that literally. I'm just saying.
No. You can't say 10 times better and then say I didn't mean it that way.
I didn't mean it. I was exaggerating. It was an expression, okay? Relax.
But guys, here's the difference, though.
I didn't mean that literally.
But here's the difference, though.
Now we're arguing over semantics.
The only thing that Jets got better than the Bills on offense is probably quarterback. But we don't know about Josh Allen fully. And running back.
No. Darnold is better than Josh Allen. There's no question about that. Josh Allen, even with Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen in Miami, Josh Allen is the worst quarterback in that division.
But here's the point. He has a better wide receiver surrounding. He has way better on offense depth-wise than what Sam Darnold had. Listen, John Brown, Cole Beasley, Zay Jones. Give me three receivers better on the Jets.
I got my fingers crossed that David.
I'll take Robbie Anderson and James Crowder over that whole core.
Oh, David Still.
John Brown,
yeah. He had one decent season, then he had like a cyst on his spine.
I'm not saying crazy Zay Jones. Crazy Zay Jones.
Listen, but I'm not calling these guys studs individually.
Jumping out of buildings.
But compare them to the Jets' depth at wide receiver. Compare it.
I would say
the Jets have a better wide receiving core. What I'm saying when I say that they put together pieces on that Buffalo offense. Guys like Zay Jones, who's going to run, try to take the top off.
He's going to run out of buildings.
But Robert Foster. Josh Allen might throw him out of the Bills Stadium.
I was just I don't know who
with
said
Cole
it.
Beasley there, the way he runs the under routes,
and they got less
Singletary and Yeldon out of the backfield in short yardage situations as receivers.
Robert
Cole Beasley underneath routes. That's your argument,
Josh. You know what? I see a bet coming on, Josh. I see a bet coming on. Why don't Fogg and Brian bet? Who has the better record between the Bills and Jets?
I already said the Jets are going to have the better record.
I take that bet. I think the Bills are going to have a better record.
I wouldn't. I said the possibility. I said the possibility for the Bills to go. The Bills can actually go 3-12 this season, the 3-13 this season, or they could swing the completely polar opposite way and go 8-8 this season. There is that much polarity on that team.
I guess I'm just like more like outraged. I mean, I got outraged when Steven predicted like.
I didn't predict.
Number.
I said this is what he would have to do for the Bills to be an 8-18.
That's like so. I know. Okay, you said outlier, but that like to go from 52. What did you say? 52% to what? 55, 56?
I said 57 or 58 for them to actually be an 8-18. That I'm disagreeing with Jason. I don't think they go 8-8. I think 5-11 is a legitimate record for them. This is what he would have to do for this team to actually do that. I would place a bet that they would do that. He has a better shot at doing that than the Jets do of going fucking 10-6.
No, I'll take that.
Let's make that bet. I'll take that bet.
Josh Allen is not going to be that good next year.
That's sleeping on him.
No.
Listen,
let's go on the record. Let's go on the record.
So you mean to tell me not one game last season showed this kid has potential to do some work, some good things for that Bills offense? I mean, the game against Minnesota. Let's keep it real. If we all bet wins and losses on the schedule, we all lost when we saw Minnesota at the Buffalo Bills, the way Buffalo handled Minnesota. And that was
an accident.
Accidents happen. Accidents happen.
There's nothing as lucky football. It happens.
Josh Allen completing 57% of his passes and throwing 21 touchdowns and 11 picks would be an accident too, but those shits do happen.
I'm talking about the Minnesota game. You said that was an accident.
That Minnesota game is the reason why the Minnesota game in what, week 3?
So it's football. We building
What's the numbers? It's football.
Wait, hold on.
I do, Tim. I'll give you that credit, though. I do remember that was the huge upset in week 3.
You got Adam Thielen over there. You got some ballers over there. What's the difference?
So hey, John. So Tim and Jason, what happened to Josh Allen in weeks 5 and 6? When he threw 100 yards.
Brian, he didn't play for like three of I think it was 3 games he missed because he was injured. And they had Nathan fucking Peterman as a quarterback. Nathan fucking Peterman. And they went 6-10, all right? 6-10.
We had a quarter too.
So what happened? What happened against the New York Jets? What happened against the New York Jets?
They almost beat because the fucking receiver didn't fucking jump the wide open pass.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
You watched that game?
Who was it,
game?
Yo, listen.
You watched that game?
On Buffalo.
I'm looking at his numbers. I'm looking at his numbers. I'm not talking about one pass. I'm looking at his numbers.
Josh,
if you want to talk about drop passes,
I'm telling you right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
you guys got too much faith in the Patriots returning to glory with the 12-4 time. These teams got better. And they're coming after Brady.
I will take a bet. I will take a Josh Allen bet right now. That Josh Allen. I'll take a bet.
I'm not betting on the record. I'll take a bet on the record.
It's the NFL. Certain aspects of teams do get better, but other positions also regress at the same time. Not all 32 teams get better at the same exact time.
Right.
It just doesn't work like that. That's why the NFL is the NFL. There's no better parity in any other sporting event other than the NFL because it's almost impossible to guess who's going to come out on top.
And that's why in my theory, I bet more. I kind of bet more on the continuity and the familiarity in the scheme than the new pieces that you bring to a new team where they got to get acclimated to the system. This is why I say the Bills are going to be slightly better than the Jets, and I would take that bet with any one of you guys that have a better record than the Jets right here on 4QQ right now.
Jason, sir, I have the Jets going at 9-7. And the Bills at 7-9 by only 2 games.
I'm sorry.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
To the quarterback, but I do believe what Fogman said. If Josh Allen,
but that's a big if, and I have to apologize to Jason because if Jason is willing to take that bet with the Bills finishing with a better record than the Jets, it's going to be my fault. You listen to a hypothetical that I put out there and now you're buying it. It's a hypothetical. That was not a definitive. That was not saying that he's going to do that.
No, I'm not saying he's going to do it. I'm just saying his progression, whatever that may be, is going to lead them to a better record. I'm not saying he's going to put up those. It's a big jump. I'm just saying.
I don't know what you guys saw in Josh Allen to think that he's going to progress.
I
saw nothing.
But see, here's the thing. Hold on. We didn't see nothing on Pat Mahomes the whole first season. He was benched. But meanwhile, again, we was don't lie. Josh, get that button ready, Josh. Get the button ready for the energy check.
Oh, I got it.
Everybody was laughing on Pat Mahomes in the preseason. Everybody was laughing. Brian, you was laughing. Jason,
wait. I don't remember. Wait. I don't remember laughing at Pat Mahomes.
Press the button, John. Press the button.
No, Josh, don't push the button. No one.
I don't remember. Tim, I really don't remember anybody laughing at Pat Mahomes.
No, nobody laughed at Pat Mahomes.
Nobody knew what Pat Mahomes was.
As a matter of fact, me and Kyle had the conversation because Kyle said out of that draft class, Patrick Mahomes had the greatest upside. And I even asked him, you really think so? And when Patrick Mahomes was named the starter and they traded Alex Smith, he goes, now you guys are going to see what Pat Mahomes is all about. And I said, okay, I'm interested to see this. It wasn't laughing because Pat Mahomes was a top 5 quarterback coming out of the draft, according to Pogometric.
Oh, wow. Listen, you know what? I got to get these I got to save these videos, man. You guys came out. We was talking about the schedule. We had the Raiders. The Chargers, and I believe Denver. Some of us winning the division. We had the Chiefs third or last. Bobby Zaloga, if he's watching, he can make that call because that was one of the times he got upset that he came like, oh, you guys are laughing at Pat Mahomes because we was laughing how Alex Smith went over to the Redskins and when Pat Mahomes was throwing all these interceptions in the preseason, it's Andy Reid. Look, nothing changed. All of a sudden now, Pat Mahomes week 1 with Kareem Hunt stunned the whole fucking world. They stunned everybody. Nobody picked the Chiefs against the Patriots week 1.
Well, I think
who picked the Chiefs over the Patriots week 1 here?
Tim, I think from what I understand, this is what I was thinking. It's not that I didn't believe in what Patrick Mahomes is going to do. I believe him. I believe in Andy Reid developing him as a quarterback. Andy Reid develops quarterbacks pretty damn well.
You do, but not Fogman. Not Fogman.
No, I think Fogman. I think even Fogman would even agree.
I said Andy Reid developed quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I even made the mention that he developed Kevin Cobb so much so that they sold his ass.
Yeah. to the
Arizona Cardinals. They robbed the Arizona Cardinals. It was unbelievable. What I've said about Andy Reid is that he is not a great coach when it comes to the playoffs. He
time management.
He blows it in the playoffs, and that has been consistent through and through.
That's a fact.
But he's one of the best regular season coaches of all time.
Unfortunately, yeah. I know the Eagles won a whole lot of fucking regular season games.
You guys were not fair on Pat Mahomes. Oh, he's gonna struggle his first year starting. Look at the interception.
Hey, so Tim.
Wait, Tim.
I don't know. I wanted him in blue, to be honest.
Tim.
Hey, Tim, let me show. Wait, hold on a second. Let me show you something, Tim. Ready? You ready to see something here? I'm gonna show it to you.
I got my glasses. Hold on.
It would have been interesting to see if Ben McAdoo actually got his fucking choice because he wanted Patrick Mahomes too.
What's that? That's Instagram.
That's what I predicted for 2018's records for the.
Put it back up, Fox. I'll put you on the main screen. I saw Chargers 11-5.
Yep.
Here we go. I got you on the big screen now. Here we go. 11-5, 9-7 for the Chiefs. 5-5-11. Yeah.
Is that on your page, Fogman? Your Instagram page?
Fog, baby,
it's on Instagram. It's on Effectively Biased Sports Talk. It is there.
You're slick, buddy.
But I didn't just make that now.
He said he's updating it to 4QQ the Fog.
Hold on, Tim. You're saying that we were all saying that Patrick Mahomes is going to struggle, right?
Yes, during the gate. At the same time.
I mean, Tim, I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember saying that, but it wouldn't be like crazy to say that Patrick Mahomes' first year starter was going to struggle.
Okay,
right?
No,
That's not crazy to say.
I'm only saying that.
I don't understand why what the outrage is about.
Here's the reason why. Because here's the thing. For Pat Mahomes, we called it out like that. Now, Josh Allen can't be better this season. He shows that Minnesota game. He shows something. He got hurt the rest of the games. They sat him out for 3 or 4 games.
Well, he played the next 2 games.
Again, they were
Minnesota.
They were still a rebuilding team.
But
now
they
put some good pieces around.
The next 2 games.
Wow. If Frogman,
what did he put around Josh?
I don't see this, Frogman.
What the hell did he put around Josh Allen? I don't understand.
Listen,
nothing
on him. They put enough on that roster that
Cole Beasley.
Say, listen, they good receivers. I'm not saying they number ones.
Like,
hold on,
guys. Okay.
What does Pat Mahomes got? What does Pat Mahomes got if Hill doesn't play besides Kelsey?
He has the rookie out of Georgia.
Rookie.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, he's still
okay. So what point? Yeah, saying what point are you trying to make there? Because I have a counterpoint probably for this.
I'm being honest. I mean, let's keep it real. Frogman had him at 9-7, right? 9-7. 9-7. That's barely getting anything. They won what? 12-4. 13. What was their record last year? 13-3.
Chiefs, I believe they were 12-4.
12-4.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 games. 9-7. That he didn't have faith on that. He probably picked 9-7 only because he didn't have faith in the Raiders. And the Chargers, we all picked the Chargers to win the division last year. I remember that. Everybody here picked the Chargers to win the division. Like, are we gonna deny that?
You gotta pull up some receipts, Timothy. I don't remember anything about Mahomes.
I'm gonna find on YouTube because everybody picked the Chargers to win the division last year.
I probably did. I mean, it's the most
I probably did for the Chargers, yeah, but
you just saw it.
Last year,
and I'm picking them to win the division this year.
Who, the Chargers?
Possibly the fucking Super Bowl. Yeah.
No, the Chargers. Listen, well, that's for the next time.
The Chargers right now are probably a better team than the Chiefs.
They are.
Yeah,
but we'll be getting to that in 3 weeks because the North
100%.
North will be next, and we got the West and South. Right? Is that how we usually work? It Southwest. Shit.
I might have a request about the schedule, but that's later on afterwards.
A fun.
We're gonna. I'm gonna find those receipts. I'm gonna find that schedule receipt. I'm gonna find that.
Oh, here we go.
That. Yeah, yes, I am.
I already showed you.
I don't understand the correlation that has to do with Josh Allen being trash.
Because he's saying he's trying to say that that people are doubting Josh Allen. There's a legit reason why we're doubting Josh Allen. Anybody who thinks Josh Allen was going to be a great quarterback is off their goddamn rocker.
Nobody's mentioned this though about Josh Allen. We all say arm strength is great. We all say the fucking run ability, yada yada. Nobody has ever during these almost 2 hours mentioned his fucking decision making. That's what worries me about this Josh Allen. If you did, I apologize. I really didn't catch that, Brian. But he holds on to the ball, warning. Should I? And then he fucking just scrambles sometimes.
Me and Fogman mentioned that at Wyoming. He holds on to the ball way too fucking long. At Wyoming.
But here's the thing.
College.
So you mean to tell me with this Buffalo team they had,
but
he can't be a quarterback who just managed the game?
This is why, in my opinion, this is why they got Beasley and shit, Tim, because he needs to make more snappy decisions. This is why they got a Beasley type receiver.
You can't manage the game.
That's fine.
Too long.
Cole Beasley is going to be Josh Allen's trainer of getting the fucking ball out of your hand when you see an open guy. Don't wait for the deep ball every goddamn time, Josh, because it's not college.
That's why they brought Yeldon over there for receiving options.
And that's why I think he'll have his progression to be slightly better than it was last year because they gave him something to work with. Yes, he held up to the ball some, but part of the reason because he held up the ball because he had nothing to work with, right?
Jason.
I'm just saying.
No.
Even if Josh Allen's progression is incremental at best, he'll still wind up being the shittiest quarterback in the league this season. That's a fact.
Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion, but I'm telling you, his progression is going to lead them to an 8-8 record. All right.
And like I said, like I said, if they go 8-8, Josh Allen will have completed 57 to 58% of his passes. He will have thrown for 21 to 22 touchdowns with 11 or 12 interceptions and had a passer rating over 80.
Okay, Frog Man, I got another bet for you.
8-8.
I got another bet for you. I got another bet for you.
I had a message for Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia, McGregor and Hobbs. I believe the Eagles are going to Buffalo this season, so I'm not going with Fogmec no more after this mess after what he just said.
Here's why I would feel more comfortable.
So if I go to that Buffalo and Eagles game, please, Bills Mafia, show me some love because I do believe in you guys. I really do. I don't want my ass getting thrown to a fucking table. Really don't.
Here's what I believe. I would believe in Josh Allen. I would believe in Josh Allen more if he was in a situation like Lamar Jackson, where they're building to his strengths. Wait.
Yeah,
what the Ravens did or are doing with Lamar, they pretty much stole the playbook from Louisville and brought it to Baltimore. And I mean, obviously, there's obviously a little more, intricacies in there, because you can't just bring college football to the NFL. But hold on, wait a minute. They're obviously building around Lamar to his strength, where Lamar has to get better too as a passer. He's got to be more confident as a passer, and they got to trust him a little more. I think that was part of the problem last year, especially in that playoff game against San Diego or Los Angeles. They did not trust him at all to pass the ball, which is the reason why I think they lost that game.
Well, maybe there's a
now,
reason.
Well, they didn't trust him because he wasn't confident, and even Lamar held onto the ball too long at that time. He was just dancing around back there. But here's what I'll believe in Josh Allen more if they weren't trying to make him into this drop back quarterback that he's just not. He's just not that dude. He's not that guy who's going to be a drop back quarterback and he's going to look and he's going to read the field, go to his first, second, and third option, and drop down to Cole Beasley. He's not that dude. He wasn't that dude at Wyoming. He was, guys, look, he was bad at Wyoming. He was not that great at Wyoming. The reason why Josh Allen was drafted, as we all know, big arm, 6'5", 240, 4.45 speed. That's it.
But who said
he was not drafted? He was not drafted because of his tape. I'm telling you right now. He was not drafted.
Brian, first of all, I got to bet. I want to bet Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. That Josh Allen will have a better season at quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
Hold on. That's better. Exactly. That's a lot in one because you have to go.
You want to say? Hold on. If you want to say
touchdown ratio, are you talking yardage
ratio?
No. I'm percentage. So completion percentage. Completion percentage. You say throw.
Let's use Fogometrics here.
Okay. Wait. Okay, Tim.
Whoever has the better Fogometrics at the end of the year.
Here's the thing.
Whoever finishes better on Fogometrics, that's the winner.
I can't do that. Here's why I can't do that.
Go by QB.
Lamar Jackson plays in a completely different offense.
Honestly, Brian. If you go to QBR, that should better Lamar Jackson because less throws, better percentage.
But that wouldn't. Okay, would that be fair though?
Of course. If it's a bet in that aspect, hell yeah, hustle any ways you got.
I want to. Hell yeah. I don't think Lamar. Here's the thing.
Lamar could throw 10 straight passes for less than 5 yards and may have a QBR better than Josh Allen, who's being supposed to throw down the field. I'm willing to take that bet that Josh Allen will have a better QBR.
Overall QBR?
We can do QBR or completion percentage because at the end of the day, if you're throwing short passes, you're gonna have a better chance than Josh Allen. I'm willing to take that because I don't believe.
I'll do QBR. I'll do QBR. I don't think completion percentage will be fair because I think Lamar Jackson is going to take less chances down the field. And then
when it
metrics, Dr. Frog, what do you think is the best bet?
We can do that. I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a better completion percentage than Josh Allen because just based off the types of passes Lamar Jackson's going to throw and the throws he's comfortable with. The post, the underneath, the deep throw. Like he's gonna be he has 3 routes he throws to Lamar Jackson. They already know.
Listen, that's nice and beautiful. Dr. Fogg, you tell us what's the best bet?
It's going to be tough. The reason I said use the Fogometrics is because what I cover is everything. So what QBR adds to it based on 3rd down, 4th down situations, the quarter, what quarter they're in, the half. Basically, the game splits. It breaks it down in QBR as well, and their effectiveness in there. I add rushing statistics, which based on where they rank as far as what those quarterbacks contributed to the running game, off of touchdowns and rushing yards, how much they were contributors to the rushing game is also something that I measure because the new age of quarterback and the way the game is played, I think part of that is because of the way Randall Cunningham gets kind of blackballed because of his running ability. People forget that he was actually a really good passing quarterback as well. So I factor that into it. So overall, I think that this can actually be a much closer bet than any of you guys are actually thinking. This could actually be really close, and it could be really close because of both of their rushing abilities and lack of passing ability in certain aspects of the game. When it comes to passer rating, I think they're going to both suck at passer rating. When it comes to completion percentage, Lamar Jackson is going to have a higher completion percentage. I think yards per attempt is going to go to Josh Allen. When it comes to QBR, they're probably going to be damn near even in those statistics. What's going to make the difference is how they affect the game in the second half of the game in 3rd and 4th down situations or 2nd and long situations in 3rd and 4th quarters. That'll basically break down the QBR. So it's going to everything is going to be really tight. I think the barometer or the measuring stick for the bet is going to be touchdown to interception ratio. Who is the more efficient quarterback? Because look at both players' wide receivers. It's not like these guys are dealing with anything great. Mark Andrews might be the best receiver that Lamar Jackson is throwing to, and he's a fucking tight end. Cole Beasley, we know what Cole Beasley is. He might be the best receiver that Josh Allen is throwing to, and Cole Beasley's a poor man's Wes Welker.
So listen, so far all my bets with you guys. With fun, I got Funches 5 TDs or less. With you, Mr. Sutton, that's $25. I also got with you Luck throws to 40. Luck throws 44 or less touchdowns. With Brian, I have if the Titans go 0-2, Mariota will be benched. For Tannehill, that's $20.
Just send me that check now, like.
And Fognate, I got with you that Travis Kelce doesn't get 92.5 receptions this year. No, he gets 90. He doesn't get 92 at all. He don't reach 92 receptions. And now with Brian, Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson in QBR rating. So this is $20. I'm presuming, right? $20.
Yeah, that's fine. I do that.
Yeah, that's good. QBR is going to be really close between.
And I would like to make a bet that the Bills end up with the 2nd best record in the division.
I can't take that bet because, like, that's possible. I think honestly.
No. This is the Fog metrics right here because he said that the Jets are not going to have. The Jets going to have a better record than the Bills. This is from Mr. Fogg.
I believe the Jets are going to have a better record than the Bills. I also believe I stated that got Brian off on a goddamn tirade on me with Josh Allen.
Y'all talk about my hot
that the Bills are probably the wild card in that division, and they got a better chance at having a winning record than the Jets do of going 10-6.
Well,
just because there's no even keel with the Bills. The Bills are either going to make their fans happy and say, "Oh wow, look, these guys went 8-8. These guys went 7-9. They looked really good this year." or it's going to be like, fuck you, you guys are just hating on Josh Allen. We need some time to grow because we went 4-12 or 5-11 this season. They're on two complete opposite ends of the spectrum. They're the only team in that division that can either go one way all the way to the right or one way all the way to the left.
I just think the Bills have.
I don't think the Bills win the division at all.
I just think the Bills.
I'll take that
defense.
I don't think the Patriots are going to win the division.
Take that.
I'm really believing that. No,
I
tell you
what, Tim. I might take you on that bet.
I'm gonna make this even better, Tim.
What's up?
I tell you what.
No man.
Not only will the Patriots win the division, none of the teams in that division will finish with a winning record.
Oh,
damn!
You talk about my hot takes, Josh. Wow, you listen to this?
That's my prediction too, though. Tim, so I can't not get too bad.
Wait, how much alcohol does that have?
Yeah, that martini. He's drinking martini. The rat.
Nah, no martini.
What's that? Lemon?
Hey Tim, I think I'll take that. Tim, I think I'll take that bet.
What's that?
The bet the Patriots will not win this division.
No, I don't believe it. I believe. Listen,
so I'll take that bet.
Nothing like that. All I'm gonna say is something's gonna happen, and one of those two teams between
the Tim, is that a bet? Oh no.
Sure, I write it down. You know me. Yeah, see ya? My bet book right here. Yeah. Got it right here. Okay.
That was a good question by BJ. That was a good question by BJ. I thought 500 was considered a winning record. No,
because you're not. It's not more wins than losses. You're even. Yeah, that ain't winning.
Hey, you didn't win.
It's like you go to the casino with $500, you lose.
You went to Atlantic City for 10 hours and came back with the same amount of money.
So it's broke even, right? You didn't win anything.
It's more of a push.
Yeah.
More of a push. Okay.
It's not a losing season, but you also didn't win anything.
Don't sleep on the Bills.
On that drive home, you're going, I didn't lose, but God damn it, I really wasted a whole lot of time to win nothing.
But for the Bills fans out there, I'm just saying, I think you guys might shock a lot of people. I'm just saying. I think you guys shock a lot of people.
They always start 3-0 and then finish the season 2-12 or whatever the fuck they do. That's how they do it.
The Bills have been trying to shock us since like 1999.
Since they have a strong defense.
I will say this for Buffalo fans watching. I am excited to see Robert Foster produce because he came in strong the last 6 or 7 games of the season, like 20 yards per reception. Off of 25 receptions, I think he had like 500, 511 or something. I just looked at.
That you guys got the miss as far as
small little diamond in the rough there in Buffalo that could emerge pretty nicely if Allen get his shit together out there.
I just think
like Steven said, Devin Singletary, who I believe should be getting at least not the bulk of the carries. I think that's mostly go to LaShawn. Devin should emerge as like one of the premier backs on it if he's as good as we think he is. Like Steven thinks he is.
And Brian, I think I want to take that bet with you.
He will emerge.
Patriots sweeping?
Yeah, I think I want to come up with something because I don't think the Patriots are going to sweep the division.
Okay.
And he will emerge.
He's going to struggle.
LaShawn McCoy will be traded. They will get rid of LaShawn McCoy.
They're going to have a loss against one of them.
You know what, Brian? Jason said that I can see.
They will get rid of LaShawn McCoy.
That I can see.
You wasn't on my side before. You said they was their best player, but I said at the beginning they're gonna get rid of LaShawn McCoy. They're gonna get rid of him.
I think he's the best player on the team.
No, the only way to get Sean McCoy if he goes to the Eagles. If Howie makes that phone call, brings him back over. That's it. Other than that, he's staying in Buffalo, in my opinion. He's staying in Buffalo, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think they're gonna want to give Devin Singletary some more burn. I don't think I think with TJ Yeldon there, Frank Gore, it's a pretty crowded backfield, and I believe they picked up Singletary, I believe in the 4th or 6th round. Please, someone correct me. So they're gonna want to get him in there.
There's a lot of leadership on that offense and on that defense.
Singletary was 3rd round. Yeah.
Listen, Frank Gore. Listen, he know where he at.
Right. I knew he was earlier.
Yeah, he ain't trying to. He ain't gonna get no 1,000 yards. He ain't the guy, but he's gonna contribute. Leadership. I'm telling you.
Frank almost had 1,000 yards last year in Miami. I believe he had almost 1,000 yards in Miami last year. Frank Gore still thinks he's the starter. Like, he's not going to teach anybody shit because he's the one spot taking. Like,
dude's a fossil with legs.
A fossil with legs.
Hit me out. Adrian Peterson came out and said that he wants to run for 2,000 yards, knowing that he got Geis right there. Now, Adrian Peterson can't be
get off my goat. Get off my goat. I think he's gonna be my goat. So
and Bryce Love. Remember, he's got Geis and Bryce Love.
Oh damn, Bryce
Love's gonna get hurt by week 4. He's gonna get hurt.
Wow.
Dalvin Cook Jr.
and Darius Geis is he runs way too hard. He's gonna get hurt too. Like this is
don't do that.
Washington's terrible. They're fucking terrible. Good lord. What?
All right, for QQ crew, we gotta kind of wrap it up here. We're going a little bit late here, but it was a good ass show. Anybody got some parting words for the public before we sign off here?
Look, Buffalo fans.
Bills Mafia again.
I know you guys think I hate Josh Allen. I actually don't. I don't hate anyone. I really don't. I don't hate him. I just want you to pump the brakes and lower the expectation on this kid. I'm telling you guys, like, I just feel bad for Buffalo fans because they really feel like they found their savior since Jim Kelly. You haven't. I'm telling you right now, you might want to wait for Trevor Lawrence. That might be your guy. Trevor Lawrence in 2020. 2021. That might be your guy. Or Tua. Who knows? Or Herbert.
What a problem is
Bills Mafia.
Josh Allen is
disregard what they're going to be there first. They're going to have
first
dibs.
He's not the answer.
Bills Mafia, don't disregard what Brian said. He's full of it. You guys have something to look forward to, all right? Josh Allen, he's going to get there, okay? You guys are heading in the right direction. Did a great job in the draft. Some exciting things are going to happen this season. Just be patient. I can see you guys making a lot of noise. You guys are going to shut Brian up. You're going to shut Josh up.
This is the same franchise that benched Tyrod Taylor.
Real quick, y'all.
Nathan Peter. And you expect me to have faith in that?
Bills Mafia. Hobbs on the line. Hey, Hobbs. Hobbs, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I want to let you know that if myself and Jason Sutton goes to that Bills Eagles game, we won't be riding with Fogman. We don't want to get thrown to the table. We believe in Bills Mafia, and we also believe the fact that Josh Allen can have a good season. I mean, if you're watching the stuff he was saying is unbelievable, and Brian too. I want you to say what you got to say right here.
Look, all I'm gonna say is y'all sleeping on Josh Allen, but y'all gonna wake up because the kid is gonna beast this year. I'm telling y'all, he's gonna beast with the new coaches, with the new running backs, and with the new system he's in. Well, not new system, with the new overall system he's in. I'm telling y'all, man, he's gonna beast. We have a great team, a great defense, which ultimately makes us a good team. Going at least 10 and 6.
This is as credible as Chris Starr saying Kawhi is going to the fucking Lakers.
Hobbs, I love you, man, but you also said the same thing about Nathan Peterman.
Dude, thank you. Like, please get off the line. Like, yo,
Tell him, Hobbs. Tell him. They didn't even apologize yet.
Nah, we're signing off.
Lord.
For QQ, we out for the night. God bless the Buffalo Bills. God bless Hobbs and his delusional magic. But we are out. Folks, we're off next week for our only week of summer vacation. We're coming back at you on, what is it? Let me pull up that date real quick.
We're gonna need the week off after the shit we heard today.
Seriously though. The 24th, we're coming back at you with the AFC North. I think we're covering here. Coming back with the North, folks. So we'll see you then. Signing off, everybody.